Okay, we are absolutely steaming on this one. In any other profession, what we caught scholars doing with the Greek Septuagint would be called fraud. When you see what we found in the Greek Septuagint, which they have been attempting to use to steer people away from the Philippines, the actual Ophir, proven definitely at this point, but instead to lead people to India based on a name that Egypt does not even use to represent India in history, as it has had a different name for India all along, as recorded even in hieroglyphics. And it is not Sophira. It's bad enough that that's the case, but this gets far worse. Maybe before writing a Bible dictionary or supposed scholarly article about how the Greek Septuagint places Ophir in India, they just might want to actually look up the guy's name first. Oh, didn't think of that? Really? And you would actually find, in Greek, the Septuagint renders Ophir as, oh, wait for it, Ophir, and never Sophira. Duh. How could they miss this? We'll show you. And this is really bad, but this video is going to be really good, because this will seal the nail in the coffin of India's claim to be Ophir 100%, and it has been right there in the Septuagint all along, which supposedly proves the opposite. Wrong. We'll see. Welcome to 100 Clues. The Philippines is the ancient land of gold, known as Ophir in the Bible and history. No, it's no fable, and this has already been proven in full in the God Culture's Solomon's Gold series. At the request of many viewers, we have pulled out 100 compelling clues, really proofs or evidences, from this research, in which we will highlight briefs of the most compelling points, and yes, there are over 100. These videos are for those who have not had time to watch Solomon's Gold series. Great for teaching in small groups, and easy to share to friends and family, especially skeptics. This brief video cannot replace that 50 video series nor prove the way that it does, but this will be very effective nonetheless. So go there for full evidence. But now, part 45 of our series, 100 Clues, the Philippines is Ophir. One clue at a time. For starters, remember we showed you Greek history from the Periplus of the Eurythene Sea, and this map from 43 AD from Pomponius Mela, who locates the Greek Isle of Gold in Luzon Island, Philippines, and the Greek Isle of Silver in Mindanao, Philippines. Yep, that's east of India, so it doesn't work. So when the translators translated the Septuagint in Greek in 200 BC or so, did they not know this? Oh, they knew, and modern scholarship has really screwed this one up. Even Josephus knew that Christ, the Isle of Gold for the Greeks, was Ophir. But let's not pretend that we need a huge scholar to figure this out, because actually the Bible renders this in Greek, and it's very easy to see. Let's review a few. In Hebrews 9, in Greek, the Ark of the Covenant was overlaid with gold, or in Greek, chrysion, or Christ. It is the Greek word for gold. In Matthew 2, Messiah was brought by the wise kings gold, or Christos, Christ. We know that was Ophir, so the Bible is really clear on the connection without Josephus needed. Christ is Ophir. Matthew 23 discusses the gold of the temple as Christos. And Revelation 21 describes New Jerusalem's streets being paved with chrysion, Christ gold. Ophir, all the same. In fact, we showed you in a previous video that the book of Tobit says New Jerusalem will be paved with the gold or the stones of Ophir. It's gold, as it is written in Hebrew, or Christ, if you were to render it in Greek. It's the same thing. Scripture equates Christ with Ophir, but now, for the big lie, exposed, and this is good. You remember one of our core passages in this whole journey. We use the KJV, but let's look at it in the Septuagint, 1 Kings 9:28, because this is where the confusion comes in, yet it really shouldn't be confusing at all, you'll see. And they came to Sophira. Well, wait, isn't that supposed to be Ophir? Well, it is in the Hebrew rendered as Ophir. But the Greeks do something else here, and it's so obvious. We cannot imagine any scholar missing this, except, well, really on purpose. And they fetched gold, from thence gold. Now that word in Greek, in the Septuagint right here, is Christos, Christ, same. 420 talents, and brought it to King Solomon. Instead of interpreting this very obvious passage, many scholars make up an entirely new direction. They're really missing something so easy to see. Go read Wikipedia, and this is the nonsense you will see there. And go read Bible encyclopedia after encyclopedia and dictionary, one after the other, and many perpetrate this, that Sophira means Ophir, and that must be in India. What? India's never had the name Sophira from Egypt, from anything we can find. Not one single credible source. Only 2 scholars made that up and never supported it that we can find whatsoever. Hieroglyphics show that they had a different name for India. Now, you'll see through all of this in just a few minutes. Notice the Greek word Sophira in the upper left. Now, the first thing we did after reading the narrative in 1 Kings was go right to Genesis 10 to see who Ophir was, right? I mean, that would be the logical step. But these scholars, they just ignore that. They're using the Septuagint, and they forget to go back and look at how it's rendered in the Greek, because Ophir is a guy in Genesis 10. They ignore it to explore a ridiculous path of non-logic. Unfortunately, we see this far too often in scholarship. Now, check this out. Genesis 10 is where it lists Joktan's sons, and tells us exactly where they lived and where they migrated. And look what it says in the actual Greek, so you can see it for yourself. We've actually rendered it, that's the Greek on the screen, but you'll see we bolded the 2 words that we're looking at. And Ophir, wait, is that same word Sophira there? No. Now, that is in the upper left. But look in the middle. Ophir is actually A-U-P-I or Y, either way, R. Ophir. Or Ophir. You could say P-H, P-P-H, interchangeable in Hebrew. There's no doubt about that. So Ophir is a pronunciation that's actually correct, but it's A-U, not O. And look, the Greeks weren't trying to change the word at all, as we find many times, especially with the Septuagint. They translate it into Greek as O-U-P-I-R, still Ophir, and very close, actually. But something's wrong. If Sophira is not Ophir, then what is it? Well, how would we know? because it's also used in the same passage and not for Ophir. No, we just read that. Now let's read on. So Ophir and Ulat, or Havilah, is the Hebrew of that, and Jobab. These are the sons of Joktan. And their dwelling was from Mesha, remember that, as thou goest to Sephar, the mount of the east. Wait, in the Greek, it doesn't say Sephar, though, does it? No, but it's very close. Oh, the Hebrew is in the upper right. Is it possible the translators were simply trying to come close to the same word in Greek as it's rendered in the Hebrew? As an interpreter really should, because they shouldn't be changing words. They should be interpreting from one language to the other as closely as possible, right? Well, that's exactly what they did here. But wait, this word looks familiar in Greek. Oh, this is the word we've been seeing. Because it's the same as the upper left. It is Sophira. Sophira is Sephar, not Ophir. So all these, and there are very many, scholars who are using this junk scholarship to try to lead to India are utterly negligent, or worse, being deceptive. And the latter is far more likely in this case, because this is not rocket science. Standard Scholarship 101, they should have checked Genesis 10, and they failed to do so. Absolute negligence. Sophira is never Ophir, but it is Sephar. But wait, wasn't Sophira used in 1 Kings in place of Ophir? Well, aren't Sephar and Ophir interchangeable? Did not Ophir migrate to Sephar? Of course he did. Let's take another look. Why, yes, it was, and very appropriately, because Ophir migrated where? To Sephar. And we even covered Parvaim, or really Sepharvaim, or the people of Sephar, which is basically what that would mean, is one of the names of the gold equivalent to Ophir. And in fact, in Aramaic versions of the Bible, they just render it as Sephar, also an accurate way to do that, rather than Parvaim at all. So they don't even go to the Sepharvaim, or Parvaim, because it's Sephar, and Sephar is Ophir. They're not the same word, however, but they are the same place. So they came to Sephar in Hebrew, or Sophira in Greek. Same word, same place. And it's not India. Wow, that really was not that difficult, was it? Thinking that scholars would attempt to confuse in such a way, as this is absolute negligence at the least. Sophira is not a word for Ophir. It is a transliteration of the Hebrew word Sephar, and a very accurate one. Yes, they are the same place, but that does not let them off the hook, because they take Sophira and claim that Egypt called India Sophira, which is not even accurate to Egyptian history. That was two scholars from, you'll never guess where. Oh yeah, Britain, of course. Yep, the same land of Gog of Magog's seat of power. The one that wishes to keep you enslaved. He just does not wish to be condemned by Filipinos, but, he will. Sorry, India, you are toast on this claim. You have no right, as we keep saying and supporting over and over again. There is no debating the Philippines as the land of gold in all of history. It is time this knowledge be restored. For those about to comment in ignorance, yep, we always get them, we dare you to watch Solomon's Gold series by the God Culture, the original channel, to prove the Philippines is in fact Ophir. Even here, we are breaking these into sound bites and clear points, but watch how all 100 clues tie together, and this series will blow you away. Thank you for watching 100 Clues. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Don't forget to click the bell and like us on our new Facebook, The God Culture _space Original. If you wish to skip ahead, go to the God Culture YouTube channel and watch our Solomon's Gold series in English or Tagalog, and any of our series, as there's something like 170 videos there now. There will be a link on the next screen. We can know this truth and be confident this belongs to the Philippines, and no one, and I mean no one, can disprove it. Until next time,